Hi friends, strangers, internet. My name is Emily Hanhan. I love colorful makeup and colorful language. And I am back today with a collaboration. I'm collaborating with one of my favorite people here on the channel. I have collaborated with this person in the past. I adore her channel, and that person is Kara C. If you haven't seen Kara's channel, I really recommend checking her out. I feel like she has kind of a mellow vibe to her too, in the way that I do, like people say I have, and I really love her for that. She does like swatch videos, tutorials, she does commentary. She's a lawyer, so she does some videos talking about law, and she also brings those perspectives to makeup and commentary videos. And I just adore her channel and her vibe and everything. And I appreciate, Kara, that you are always down to collab and that you've become such a lovely internet friend over the last couple of months. I feel like you're just such a badass woman doing cool shit on the internet, and I thank you for that. And if you're watching me and you haven't checked out Kara, please go check her out. If you are on my channel because of Kara, thank you for coming over and following along in my colorful shenanigans, as I like to call them. Now that I've kind of bragged on Kara a little bit, let's talk about the concept of what we're doing here today. So today, Kara C and I are doing a bit of a style swap. We were inspired by Michelle Wong and Better Off Red, who did a style swap using complimentary Muerte y Vida palettes from the Amor Eterno line with Melt. Today, Kara and I are both doing looks based on one palette, and that palette is the Lunar Beauty Moon Spell palette. So in Michelle and Sarah's video, they both picked out colors for the other person to use in their look, and that's how we set this up. So I picked out 4 colors for Kara to use in her look, and Kara picked out 4 colors for me to use. We can use other colors in the palette, but we have to use those 4 colors. So I know when I picked out my colors, I kind of just picked out some of my favorites from the palette, and I tried not to think too hard of like how I would put them together myself. I'm not sure how Kara picked out her colors. We didn't have any rules in that way, but the 4 colors that she picked out for me are right here. So we have Piper, this is Sarah, this is Samantha, and this is Nancy. I don't know if I've used all 4 of these colors in the past. I do quite like this palette, and I think we both wanted to get some more use of this palette, both, you know, on our own and on our channel. But Kara, you picked out a gorgeous color story. I am excited to play with this. I haven't filmed in a while, so I'm not going into this with any game plan of like if I'm gonna be doing more of a tutorial or if I'm just going to chat about things and do my makeup. Depending on how I'm feeling as we get going, we'll see how it plays out. You might be able to tell from the title of the video or something along on the screen what I decided to do, but I hope you'll just join me for the ride. Okay, I have Smashbox primer on my eye, and we're gonna jump in. Every brush you're going to see today is probably going to look dirty. That's because they generally are. Let's just get going. I am going to start with Sarah, the softest of the 4 tones, kind of as per usual, blend out kind of color. Also, I did my face makeup not in front of the bright lights, and I'm kind of regretting that, but all the brushes I'm using are rougher brushes because they are my favorite and I need to clean them, but I want to use them, so I'm just going to use them. I've like dusted off as much powder as I can on a paper towel, but that's about it. If you haven't been around on my channel much, the Moon Spell palette was a palette that I wanted for a while before I picked it up. I wanted to wait till it came to Sephora because this was my first and currently only Lunar Beauty purchase, and I just really wanted to have that comfort of if I wanted to return it, I'd be able to. So I waited till it came to Sephora, and then I ended up getting it on during the VIB sale. I'm really glad I did. It's weird because in my world, I feel like this is probably one of my favorite composed palettes, but when I compare this palette to so many of the single shadows that I own from different indie brands and things like that, it's not like the most impressive. Like, it's great for a composed palette that you can get in Sephora especially, but you know, if I'm comparing Lunar Beauty shimmers to Shady Glow or to Divina or Cleona or anything like that, to me they don't match up. But if I'm comparing Lunar Beauty shimmers to Too Faced or Tarte or a brand like that, then this is a favorite. So that's how I think about it. It's like a, you know, I might talk critically about it, but that's because it has big shoes to compare to in my collection. But within Sephora, I feel like this is one of the best palettes you can get with an interesting, colorful color story. This is where not having a super clean brush is failing me. So Sarah is a pretty like intense color. It swatches softer, but I feel like, I don't know if it was the primer or if it's the brush, but it's going on fairly intensely. That's okay for me. If you're new around here, I'm the kind of person that brings color to my brow bone, regularly makes myself look like a clown, wears intense blush and highlight, so just who I am. The thing that I like about Piper, the brightest pink on my hand, is that even though it's a shimmer, to me it's like a satin shimmer, and I can use it to kind of blend out. I want the first color I put down to be a little bit apparent around the edge up here. I'm trying to use this as my clean, like, eraser blender brush, but it's not the best brush to do this with. Oh, it's weird. That's very weird. Let's go over here. I don't know what's going on right now, but I'm not loving it. I'm gonna blame this on my primer being too good, which sounds absolutely ridiculous. Okay, I probably just cut all of that out, but I had to finick a lot with the eye because I think my primer grabbed a little too, it grabbed onto the shadow a little bit too happily, and it wasn't really blending. It was creating, I had a deep like line of like shadow stick. So I really like the Smashbox primer. I've come back to it recently, but I think I need to use it with this palette again, not on camera. So now we're gonna go in with glitter glue, and I tend to put it on my lid, but I also tap it above where it's gonna transfer anyway. And then again, I've been loving this rougher brush for shimmers. I'm picking up Samantha, which is the rose gold shade. that pink Piper on the outer corner. Samantha is just a little dark for me. Like, I wish it had a little bit more shine, like kind of reflection to it, but I might pop into a different palette to do my inner corner. I know in our like rules we said we could use other colors within this palette, but we didn't really talk about non-palette colors, so we'll see. I'm gonna work on my lower lash line. For lower lash line, I'm putting more of my eye primer down there, but I'm just using a Q-tip. And I'm gonna use my favorite tiny brush and go in with Nancy, which is the turquoise. And let's make a bright lower lash line. Tapping into just a tiny bit more of Page, the bright pink. I want to connect. Layering up Nancy. Using a tiny little brush and going into Prue, just the purple, and we're gonna put that on the inner corner. I have this color from Shady Glow called Blow. It's basically just white glitter. I'm gonna tap just a little bit of it on the very inner corner because I feel like I made it super dark. And I'm going in with Bonnie. Bonnie's probably my favorite matte out of this palette. And since the turquoise is already making my under eye look a little dark, I'm just gonna blend it out with some green because let's embrace the weird. We're leaning into the dark. Got some black for the waterline. I decided to do the tiniest little pencil wing. I haven't done makeup on camera in over a week. I haven't touched this palette in at least a month, if not longer. So it's a feel like I'm back on training wheels. I don't have anything else to add to that. I'm just gonna do the other eye off camera and we'll be back to wrap this up. Okay, both eyes are done. So of course I like my second eye more than I like my first. My blend out was just easier with the Sarah color. I think I just went in a little lighter handed. And also the inner corner. So on the inner corner on this eye, I put down the turquoise, and then I put down Prue, and then I put my white glittery eyeshadow on top of that. On this eye, I just put Prue and the white glittery eyeshadow, and I like the more pinky tone purple that it shows up versus how cool it shows up on top of the turquoise. But otherwise, I mean, they're not that far off. They're not that far off from each other. And that's one of those things that I do really like about this Lunar Beauty palette, is that there are different formulas. Like some of these really work well as nicely as toppers, like Prue, and it can also stand on its own with glitter glue. And then a color like Piper obviously has some shimmer, some sheen to it, but I also blended it out similar to a matte. So yeah, Lunar Beauty Moon Spell palette. The more I work with this, the more I'm like still middle of the road. Like I love it, but I see its downfalls. But I think my annoyance when working on this eye was a little bit overblown, because once I went onto this eye, it happened really quickly. Nowhere near the same issues that I was having here, and I was using the same primer. So I still quite think that this is worth it, especially if you can get it on sale. I know this is not a review, but I just thought I would throw this in since I talked about this when I first got it, and I haven't really talked about it much since. But that is my Moon Spell look using these 4 shadows and just a couple of extra, just a few extra. Everything else on my face is pretty neutral, you know, nothing too fun or interesting, but if you have any questions of what's on my face, you can always leave me a comment, because I know I'm not gonna have the patience to actually put it in the description box. Thank you, Kara, for doing this video with me. I can't wait to see what you did with the colors that I picked out. They're some of my favorites. Maybe I use 1 or 2 of them in this video as an add-on. Definitely go check out Kara's video. I will have her video and her channel linked in the description box. Thank y'all for being patient with me over the last week or so, not uploading. I have stuff that I want to finish and edit and upload, but I'm trying to just make time, and being busy is a good thing. But for right now, I'm kind of just feeling my way back into filming and editing and all of that good stuff. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, if you have any thoughts, if you have any comments about this palette, about what I put together, about Kara, only nice things in the comments, especially about Kara. I know I don't need to say that, but I'm going to say it just in case. Leave them in the comments. I love talking with y'all down there. And if you enjoyed this video and you are not yet subscribed to my channel, I would love for you to, as I said earlier, follow along with my colorful shenanigans. Thank you to my patrons. If you are interested in supporting my creative endeavors, both in beauty and food, I have my Patreon linked in the description box. And otherwise, just thank you for spending a bit of your day with me. I hope to see you again real soon. Bye, friends.